What is going on? Happy Tuesday. Y'all already know what it means. And if it's a Tuesday, that's another episode of Comic Relief. So, you know what? Why don't we get into it? What is going on? Michelle, what is good? It's good to see your face up in the building. It's been a while. How you doing?
I'm good. It feels good to be back. It's been a while since I've been on here, and I'm excited for tonight. This is an awesome topic. So thank you for having me. Thanks for letting me co-host with you.
I'm glad you're available. I mean, you're so busy now. You're on all these YouTube shows and doing all these competitions, and you're killing it. I'm catching the replays. You know, you be on late a little bit for me sometimes. My old ass be passing out and shit. You know what I mean? But I catch the replay later, and I'm like, yo, this girl's going in, man. I'm loving it, man.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's awesome. We got a few people coming in the building right now. I appreciate you guys. But before we get into the chat, you know, I definitely want to bring in our special guest for the week. You know, you already know we're going to be talking about these hip hop variants. So who else but not to have this conversation, but you got to have the guy in the building to have this conversation. Let's give it up for the bearded comic bro. Of course, the homie Greg. What's good, man?
What's up, man?
Make some noise, man. Let's go chat.
Man,
go
it's
crazy.
so good to be out with both of you guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. I know it's your first time on the show.
Yeah.
I believe you and Michelle, and we've met prior to this. But I know you and Michelle this is your first time meeting, right?
This is our first stream together. So, and it's so weird because we were just talking like we're both at a con together and we just kept missing each other. It's
right.
Crazy. So,
yeah, no, this is cool. First live stream together. It's about time, you know.
That's what's up, man. Well, let's just get into the chat real quick because I see we got a few people hanging out with us here. Let's go with the homie that's always in the building. What's going on, Brandon? Salute to you. And of course, we got the unruly Simeon always hanging out with us. Salute. Oh, we got another homie here. Haven't seen you in a minute. What's good, Paulie? It's been a while, bro. Hope everything is good. I know you're always working, so I appreciate you tuning in. Then we got the big Sove collector in the building. What's going on, homie? Then we got Leroy. What's good, my brother? Appreciate you, brother. Always representing, coming in the building. Of course, we got Daryl. Read your comics. What's going on, man? What's going on? Who else we got? I know we got somebody else. Oh, don't want to miss anybody. Got the big homie, Big Paul J. What's good, man?
Who's that?
I know. Who's that guy, right?
Love you.
You know what I mean? We got the homie Jason climbing comics. What's going on? Delinquent, if no other. And of course, we got another brother that's in the building. Puff Comics was good, man. Appreciate you stopping in, man. So yeah, man, guys, I'm excited. Today we're gonna be talking about hip hop variants, and we're not just gonna run through it. You know, we're gonna talk about it. You know, to let people know why we showing these books. You know, the experience we might have had during the time when these songs and albums came out. So definitely, y'all don't want to miss this. And before we get into it, y'all already know how we do here. Hopefully, everybody got their drinks. Because we're gonna do a quick little cheers. I have my beer, but I'm gonna do my cheers with my little Henny over here. So just a quick salute, cheers to everybody in the building.
Cheers.
You know, what you drinking there, Michelle?
So I actually have a local Maryland beer, 1623 Brewing Company. It's a pina colada hazy IPA, and it's really damn good.
Sounds rough.
No, it's smooth. It's really good.
What's up, you, Greg? What you drinking, brother?
So I got a little bourbon, just a local distillery here, and then I also have a hazy IPA, New England IPA, Oscar Blues.
Nice.
So I like to double dip into the beverages when it's a good show like this.
There you go.
It's a must for Comic Relief. You are
right.
That's what I'm talking about. So like I said, today's topic is hip hop variants. So I guess to jump right into it, Greg, let's show us your first book, break it down, let us know why you even talking on this book.
Well, wait. What do you got over there? More penny?
Oh,
You didn't tell us what you're drinking.
Yeah. I got my Henny.
Okay.
You know what it is? If y'all been watching the show, y'all already know.
You know. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Come on now, people. You know, and I did mix it up. Not to switch, you know, I did mix it up. I throw a little coronita in there, you know what I'm saying?
There we go.
For the Latinos.
Man. This was such a hard thing to do, to try and figure out, like, you know, as we were talking, like, what are some of your favorite hip hop covers? And I'm just gonna have to have Morbius hold up some of them because I'm never gonna own them. But I'll tell you one that was one of the first ones that got me into collecting the hip hop covers, and this is the Nova, and it's a Chance the Rapper coloring book album homage. Chance the Rapper, I mean, he had the mixtape 10 Days, and he had the mixtape Acid Rap, and then coloring book was one of his first ones that kind of he put mainstream, and it was only streaming services, and you know, and it blew up. And there's just so many good hits. I mean, if he did an Acid Rap cover, I would have done that, pick that one over this. That's, you're kind of limited to of, you know, what the Marvel is doing with the hip hop covers and stuff. But I mean, just the collaborations that Chance had, and the guy is an entertainer and a performer. And so I didn't know very much about Nova. I mean, this was a straight cover buy. All my hip hop variants are cover buys for getting the album.
right.
But I mean, yeah, that Chance the Rapper album, coloring book, had so many different. You had 2 Chainz, and just so many different people that were on it, and just so many hit after hit after hit. But the way he switches up his style too, even into it, man, it is one that it just resonates with me and got me into the. I saw that and I was like, I got to get this, and then I just fell down a rabbit hole.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about.
I know what you mean. Just quickly to highlight your point about how a lot of these covers, like you'll find a hip hop cover for a group or an artist that you love, and you're like, damn, why didn't they do the other album? But it's cool, you know.
Right.
Anyway, but it's like, oh, there's so many.
Right.
There's already so many covers, but there's so many more that I would love to see done. You know.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. So, Michelle, what you got for us? I know. Well, explain to the people. You let them know your collection. You know,
okay. Yeah. So it's kind of funny that I'm on the show because, like, this is my stack of hip hop covers, but it's because I really just found out about these, and I'll show you the one, my first one that I got in a second. But like I've only been collecting comics for about a year, and 90% of my collection is Bronze Age, a little bit of Silver Age stuff. I never even thought I would read modern books, let alone collect like variants, and I'm not into the ratios or any of that stuff, you know. But I had no idea that these existed until like a few months ago, and when I found out, I was like, holy shit, this is so cool. Like, okay, all right, like I take back what I said, like I'm totally into this, but I am late to the game, you know. Like if it was just a few years ago, maybe I could have gotten a lot of these like you, Morb. You have a whole collection because you got in at the right time in the beginning.
Right.
So for me, you know, if I can get my hands on a few on my wish list, I'll be happy. But to kick it off, this had to be the first one that I picked up. I actually saw I think it was Read Your Comics in the chat say, where's this the Midnight Marauders trial? So here it is for you. But
there
yeah, like this is just dope. I think who did it? Mike Del Mundo. But I love Tribe. I kind of grew up liking their music, and so when I found out that hip hop covers were a thing, I immediately Googled like to see if there were any Tribe covers. So when I found this, and you know, it's just nice. So this kicked it off for me.
That is fire right there. Definitely. That's definitely a great book, man. That you want to start off your collection, that's how you start it off, man, with that book right there.
And I mean, I'd be happy if I don't have any others, you know, I'd be happy with that. Well, I'll take that back. There's one more, but we'll talk about those later. I showed you my picks that I
yeah, we'll bring them up. And like I said, I did try to grab some for you. So, you know, when you want to from base out of your pick, you let me know. I'll bring it up for you, you know, at least so that people could see the book. You know what I mean? So for
I'm about to be super jealous for the rest of this show between the two of you. I'm about to just cry over here.
Oh my God, no! But no, don't be. But that's why you're here, Michelle. That's why I wanted you here too, because you know you might have people in here that are just new to this just as much as you are. So I would love for them to be engaged and you know get involved based on somebody who's not into it just as much as you are, and the questions you might ask might be questions they're thinking about. So and we can answer them, or you could even answer them for them. So that's why I figured it'd be great to have somebody who's just getting into the game with this collection, especially with this run here, because this is, you know, like I said, this does scare a lot of people away. I was just talking to Paul earlier, PJ Morris, and he was just saying how he was about 50 books in and he finally like gave up because he was just like, man, this shit is not stopping. And on top of that, it was just getting harder and harder to find the books that he was looking for. So, and he was just like, you know what, I'm just going to give up, you know, and then now, of course, with the money and the value of them, they just shot out of range and you're just like, it's ridiculous. Like, I can't even.
Especially I see why. Yeah. Because, you know, people love the modern variants. They love chasing that stuff. And this is like the coolest version of modern variants that you could imagine. I mean, how can you not love these? Right? Oh, look, I'm not into variants. I asked my husband to save that one.
That's messed up, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry about that.
That's foul, Daryl.
Well, like, and you're right, because they started to blow up all of a sudden. And towards the end, too, of the run, from what I understood, too, they started to do more of the, like, store variants and harder to get kind of, you know, number runs. So it made it even worse. But then...
Wow. And did store variants?
Like ratio variants. Sorry, not store variants. Ratios.
Oh, man.
Yeah, definitely. I
got album covers are like a thing you can collect and artwork on their own. So to cross it over with comics is just a beautiful thing, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. I mean, I know I have a few here and we don't have much time, so I'm probably gonna like run through more than one and try to get as many out as possible as I can. So I'll probably do like just two real quick, guys.
Go for it.
Dude, I had pulled out 30 books and I was like, you know what? I think 30 is a little too much. I think I need to pull back, you know.
It's hard to narrow these down. I told you I was going to.
It's too many good ones. And it's not even like, oh, I have 30 of them. No. It's just that they're just that many good ones that you keep pulling them, and you're like, yeah, this is a dope one. Yeah, this is a dope one. And then when you look,
that one, you can't leave that one out.
Like, I got to put some of this shit back.
I remember messaging you earlier on the show. I was like,
right.
Here's my top 10 picks right now. I don't own them all, but I'm like, I guarantee you it'll probably change within a day.
Halfway through the show. Exactly. I was just reading it earlier. I was like, oh man, I got some of your picks here too. I was
good because I don't have some of them.
My hunt list is about to double in size after this. I have 12 on my hunt list.
There we go. That's why I like you.
I'm excited. Yeah.
The beast. I'm gonna go with something that's really way back. You know what I mean? I gotta go with this. It's a homage of the not homage, the Civil War #2, #1. The art is Terry Rodson. This is Critical Beatdown from the Ultramagnetic MCs. The album came out in 1988. From the group, you had the standout, which was Kool Keith, who came out with multiple albums after, and is still performing to this day. Kool Keith. So this is an album to me. When it came out, it was crazy because Critical Beatdown was mostly a lot of break beats. You know, it was an album that had a lot of beats. And it was and then you had some music to it. There was some songs that were in the album as well, but you had songs that were just beats broken down, you know, being mixed down, you know. So it was pretty dope. Okay, that's my one. Yeah, that's great. So definitely I thought this was a good one to set it off with, you know, because this brings me back to my time. 1988, I was 13 years old, so I was in the 8th grade when this album came out, and I thought it was such a dope album. I think I should have it. I believe I put it here and try to grab one of these picks, if I'm not mistaken. If probably I am, because it was just so many album covers to try to. No, it's probably not even in here. See, so many album covers to put up, but this is one here. I'm just gonna run through real quick. Don't want to hold up too much time, and I got another one I want to show real quick, which is of course a classic. This is Thunderbolts #1, art by Tony Piper. But what I love about it, this is Naughty by Nature, which is the album Naughty by Nature, which was in 1991, which is another classic album. You know, I was freshman in high school when this came out, so it just brings me back. You want OPP? Yeah, you know me. You want some OPP? Yeah. You know, that was the thing. After that, there was no more like, you know, that was like the game you used on girls. You know what I mean? You walk up to a girl, you're like, yeah, you want some OPP? You know what I'm saying? And either they'd be like, get the fuck out of my face, or they'd be, you know. But you tried anyway as a kid. You know what I mean? You was young and eager. But yeah, there's another book right here. Definitely a goodie. Definitely a throwback that I enjoy. You know, so yeah, Craig, what you got for us, brother?
Man, so the next one, I don't own it, so I know Morbius we were talking about behind backstage, but one of my go-to, and what I loved about this idea of this show too was a lot of people that might be collecting might not even know like what some of these albums are, and like I feel like this is kind of like we're talking about our love of some of these albums, because I know we've got different generations of hip hop.
Yeah, man, here. This is dope. This is dope.
And so, like for me, the Deadpool cover, it's an homage to Wale Attention Deficit album, and it's just this cover is beautiful. It's Deadpool looking at a screen, whole tower full of TV screens, you know, with his back to it. And that album is one of my favorite albums of hip hop. It came out, I think, 2009. So a couple years after I was in college. That's it right there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
It's such, and like that was one of those, like some of the covers are cool to get because it's it's a great album, but the cover isn't like the best album cover. Like I thought that was a really super cool album cover.
It is dope.
And
dope.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you said, like this, it's a great album and also a great homage, a great cover on its own. Like you either have one or the other. You know what I mean? So when you find the sweet spot of like both, it's like you have to have it, right? You know?
Oh, for sure. And we also talked about, I think, Michelle, you were mentioning like how we were kind of talking about like sometimes there's like, oh, I got to get this album because this is my favorite artist, but it's not the best album by them, right? Like I think the only you know, Chaos was making fun of me on my post about I think the Eminem picture in there, and that is by far the worst Eminem album that they homage to, you know. But
yeah, there's like the Drake one where I'm like, man, if they did his first album, I would have
but like
the inside joke.
I mean, that Wale album is one of my favorite albums. I still listen to it. I've been, ever since we started talking about the show, I've been bumping that probably nonstop in my car. And I highly recommend to the chat, if you guys, because I know like Wale is not like a super like popular name that's played on the radio and stuff, but like with hip hop people, he is well known. But highly recommend checking out that album. Some of the guest appearances that he has on there, like Pharrell, he even has a song with Lady Gaga on there, which is bonkers that Wale did a collab with her. It just popped so well. And Bun B's on there, and like so many just good collaborations on it. And he does such a unique style of just bringing this different style of hip hop to his album. And I can't recommend that one enough to people. If you've been sleeping on it, check it out.
The beauty of, one thing I love about these hip hop covers is not only does it feed our comic addiction and our collecting habits, but it brings back the memories of the music from those albums, you know, that they're covering, and it makes you want to listen to it again. It makes you think about where you were when those were released, and you know, and then chatting with friends about it. It's like you can. It's just, I love it. I love it. So that's why this show is super, super dope.
It takes you back, right? Like your last hip hop show, Morb, you had Wiz on and stuff, like, and you guys were talking about like growing up where you grew up in your neighborhood you grew up in, of like you appreciate the hip hop to a degree that people can't appreciate. Like, you know, me going back as a kid from the Midwest, listening, like I can still listen to it, but I'm not gonna have the same appreciation as you do for certain things. And it takes you right back into the nostalgic feel when you see those covers. You resonate right away with, like Michelle was saying, of like, I know where I was. I know, you know, I see that 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying album. I'm like, yup, I was in high school senior year when that dropped, and I was like, it takes you back. And that's what I love about comics do that, but so does music.
Yeah, it's so dope, man. I think that's very important with this, and somebody who, like, I feel like I say all the time, I was, blessed to be born, when hip hop started, blessed to be born in the birthplace of hip hop in the Bronx in the mid 70s, when the hip hop started. I grew up with hip hop, was part of the culture, and to me, it was, a lifestyle. It still is a lifestyle. Yep. It's a lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's bigger than music. Especially when you're involved with people who had a lot to do with it, and being that fly on the wall, growing up, being behind the stage, hanging out with these people, and you're like, oh shit, it's crazy. You're like, this is really happening, and you're there in that moment, so it's pretty dope, man. It's pretty dope. Yeah. Before, I could keep going forever. Michelle, what you got for us? I know you guys what you wanted to show.
I only had one book physically because, like I told you guys, or if anybody in the chat missed the very beginning, like I only have one hip hop cover because I just really found out about this stuff. Being only collecting for about a year, never thinking I was going to get into modern stuff. Right. This is all new to me, and it sucks because I'm a little late. But I definitely have a wish list. I sent Morb 12 books that I would love to have in my collection. So this was the first 6. So okay, my first cover that I showed earlier was the Tribe Called Quest Midnight Marauders issue, the Spider-Man one. So I definitely need the Groot one because that's from their most recent album, which it's a special album because it was released, I think, in 2016. Well, wait, so that one's the Weekend.
That's the Weekend one, right?
Oh, that's the Weekend. Oh, you're saying the other Groot.
Sorry. The other Groot one is the one that neither of you guys had, actually.
Right. That I can't find my Groot.
They released that album in 2016, like right the same year that Fife died. And it's a really cool cover, and Groot is adorable. So I really want to find that one. But the other Groot one, the Weekend album, I love that cover. And like I was saying earlier, my picks are based on not only the albums that I loved, but the fact that I also like the covers too, because you don't always get both with these variants, Right. But I thought that was pretty dope. I love black and white.
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful.
What else was on my list? I forget. On that
you want the first list on that list?
Okay, so the Miles and the Black Panther, I'm probably never gonna find because I'm learning that those are. Unless I'm gonna pay like $5.
Let's show the people.
Or unless you're Morb.
Unless you're Morb and you have the Nas-O-Matic out. Oh,
so dope.
so good.
1994, guys. 1994.
Well, I love Nas, so if I found that for a decent price, I would.
Great production. Pete Rock, Premier. You've had Q-Tip production on there. You have Lord Finesse. You had, I believe, on there.
Wow.
If I'm mistaken. Who else? So let's go back to your.
Oh, the Punisher one. That's the LL Cool J one. Dude, I love that.
That album, I'm gonna tell you right now. This is the album I was mentioning earlier, right?
Yeah,
the Mama Said Knock You Out album, 1990. This album came out, and I'll tell you right now, this was my freshman year. Oh man, this was such a sick album. I mean, there's so many great songs. Booming System, that was one of the classics in there. Let me see. It's just so many, man. But yeah, just an awesome album.
And man, dude, he still can perform. He came through to a music festival in Columbus.
Oh, yeah. He's still a beast, man.
And I took my wife. I'm like, hey, you got to listen to a little LL Cool J. Like this, we're gonna be listening to Mama Said Knock You Out at this music festival, and she's like, okay.
Dude, I used to run that song so much, it was ridiculous. I ran that song to the ground, man.
And the other one, the Sam Wilson. So I'm not a huge A$AP Rocky fan, but there are a few songs on that album that I really like the song Goldie. The beat on that one is amazing. And I mean, everybody loves Sam Wilson. And like I said, I'm a sucker for black and white covers. And that cover, it just nailed it. I don't know who the artist is, though. You'd have to tell me more. On the bottom right.
I don't recall on this one, actually. I'm a little.
I think that says it on the bottom right of all of them. See underneath the image.
Yeah, it is. Okay, Mahmoud Safar.
Interesting. Okay.
Remember
I don't
Safari?
think I know that artist.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
the
Oh
style.
yeah, you're right. It does say it right there on the bottom corner.
Yeah, it does say. I
That's
didn't even
how I knew
realize
that
that.
this was
See,
Del
look at
Mundo
that.
because it
Learn
says
something
it.
new.
This
You
is why.
see?
This is Michelle. Another reason why you're on. You're teaching us.
There you go. You see, guys? You see, there you go. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Oh,
man.
snap.
Things you overlook, you know, those little things you just like, you
And if
know.
you-
That Chance the Rapper one. That's a Christian Ward cover.
Christian Ward, there you go. Christian Ward.
I like that cover there. Now I don't know if you guys want to go around and then you can come back to me with the second set.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
We'll do that. Okay.
Oh, this is so fun, you guys. Like
awesome,
we
man.
can talk about this shit all night.
Yeah, right. So okay. Oh, we got Sheena in the building. Hold up.
Oh, Sheena.
Sheena's up in here chilling. We got the homie Big John. He up in here. Salute, John. Actually, John, we need to put you backstage, so I'm gonna keep you backstage for a little while. Oh, we got Rudy up in here. What's going on, Rudy?
Still back.
Hey, Rudy.
He's still backstage, son. But yeah, so back to me real quick. I'll run through it. Again, going back to my childhood, you know, especially with this first one, another LL Cool J, you know, classic. I have the album. It's in my mom's house. I don't have it here.
Oh, that is cool.
You know what I mean? This Cage #1. You
I
know,
don't think I've seen that before.
the Funko or the Fonso, sorry. And this is the bigger and deafer LL Cool J album. It dropped in 1987, and this is such an awesome album, man. You got I'm Bad, you know, you got so many dope songs on here, classic songs from LL Cool J. You know, I Need Love. You know, it's just so many dope songs on this album. And of course, this cover is just ridiculous with Luke Cage.
That is ridiculous.
And that's how LL was. He was leaning up against the gate in the project, and he was on top of, I believe it was like a Cadillac. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
no, it was a Caddy or Porsche. I think it was a Porsche. He was on a Caddy. No, he was on a Caddy. He was on a Caddy. Yeah. So that was dope.
What album is that again?
This is Bigger and Deafer.
Okay. See, that's the thing. When I was going through, when I found out about these and I started researching and trying to see what was out there, you know, I'm not like a huge hip hop head, and I'm a little bit younger, so I do like the 90s stuff, but a lot of it I don't know. So there's some super dope covers out there, but I may have not been familiar with the artist, or vice versa. The art was awesome, but I'm like, you know.
Yeah, it's just so much dope stuff.
I'm excited to watch this on the replay and then make myself like
making notes
right.
So this is another one that was, I mean, this was after I graduated. Well, not graduates. I didn't graduate high school. For those who didn't know, I dropped out of high school. So, and then I went back, got my GED, you know, and all that good stuff, and then became a mechanical engineer. See, you could do it too.
Same with
you. And so this is a classic Redman album, Dare to the Dark Side. I was 18 years old. I was in the freaking I don't even know how to say it. You know what I mean? I was like deep in it at this time this album came out. You know what I mean? Like I was 2 steps away from being, you know, for doing 25 to life type shit. You know?
Sorry, it's not funny, but it's funny how you say it.
You know? So I was 18 and this album dropped, and it was like, yo, it just blew my mind. Like the songs that were on here, like Cosmic Slop, you know, just so many dope songs that you just like kept repeating over. And it was dope because the cassette came as a red cassette. So there was like different variations of it. So you had the red cassette, you know what I mean? You had a purple cassette, you know, you had the regular clear cassette, you know, so it was so dope the way they did. That was like the variants, you know, back then. You get the different color cassettes. But this is Dare to the Dark Side, Redman, 1994. You know, this is Carnage 1. And if you could, man, hold on. I think I got the cover, guys.
Oh, that reminds me of the movie 7. Isn't that the movie 7? Kind of where they open the box with the head in it.
Yeah,
yep. Because you're right. It's out in the field with the towers. Yeah.
Towers, yeah.
Yep. So
That's
you see,
dope.
pretty dope.
Dope comic.
So some dope stuff right there. Greg, what you got for us?
So
man?
I want to go back up to a question in the chat. Reading comics a while ago, it was right after Michelle ended, asked if there's a Run the Jewels variant. and I'm pretty sure there isn't for this line of comics.
No, there isn't for this one.
But and you can just check it on eBay just to see. There's probably about 4 or 5, 6 different covers that are Run the Jewel covers. There are a lot of Rocket and Groot ones.
Right.
There's like a Deadpool, Black Panther.
Just recently, I think it was like just the beginning of this year. I think I saw a Run the Jewels variant cover. It was like a ratio.
Yes, and I know like they have like a black and white version of the same one with Rocket. So if you're a Run the Jewels fan, they are out there. They're not in this line. I'm almost 100% positive they're not. But you can easily get. They just still do like the homages, of them and the pointing to the fist, like. So they're out there. So if that's a group that you really like resonate with, like a lot of people do because they kill it.
Oh, look, I guess it wasn't 7.
Well, yeah, this was before 7, but so 7 homaged that probably too. So I wanted to say it's funny how many Groot and Rocket and Guardians of the Galaxy covers there are in this lineup. There's like more than other characters. I mean, in the 12 I picked alone, there's like 3.
Big Crash was good, brother.
So David Fincher was we just realized David Fincher is just a big fan of Redman. He was bumping Redman when he was getting ready to work on 7.
There you go. There you go. We'll go with
Morgan, let's be honest. Morgan Freeman taught him what's up. He's like, listen.
There you go.
Exactly.
Man, there's so many good ones.
So many, man. So
you got a whole stack there. You could just run through like.
Yeah, go through like 2.
Right.
Yeah, go through like 2 or 3.
I'm gonna do a twofer.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, Moo, I gotta bring out Raekwon.
Yeah, man.
I knew Morbius.
If you wasn't gonna pull that one out, I was gonna put it out.
But this is what's funny too is, I mean, this is one of those that, man, they could have done, Only Built for Cuban Links Part 2, which is also another, like, it's one of those albums that
so dope, bro.
You're like, man, the first one is great, but like the second one
is like top notch, bro. It was, oh man,
I might enjoy the second one better than the
first. It is so dope. It was just such a not only such a great album, but it was such a great time. It like brings you back, like when you we were talking earlier behind the scenes, like you hear these songs in your head when you're looking at these comics and you're just taken back to that time. Like, where were you? Like when I hear that song, that album, I immediately go to my bedroom late at night, listening to it, smoking out, getting high as hell with my boys, and we're just sitting in the room, just listening to this shit, like at 1 o'clock in the morning, and just zoning out, just meditating on it, not even like talking, because that was the shit. You would just sit there and listen to it, and you would go through the insert. You would read everything inside the inserts. You read all who produced it, special. You read every fucking special thanks. All right, who we thanking?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's how you know the album is good, is if you don't want to talk over it, and you can do exactly what you just said. Is just smoke and chill and vibe and listen to it.
Just listen.
And that was the thing too, was you didn't have streaming services. You didn't have. You had it almost as like, hey, yo, I have Only Built for Cuban Links. Morbius is like, all right, hey, I've got, I got NWA's album, like, and we're just gonna bring our albums together, and because you didn't have access to it all, so like you almost have to coordinate with your friends, like, I'm gonna spend my money on this album. Which one are you getting?
Right.
It's crazy because even me being younger, like, I still have a box full of, those big CD binders that you'd keep in your car.
I mean,
not even like that seems ancient now.
Yeah, it is. It is.
No, because I had that binder because I had that. My car was so cool back in 2007. I had the 10 disc changer in the back of the trunk, and I just pop in, 10 discs and
man,
put them on rotation. And now you're like, now you have a Virgin record in your car on your phone.
Something about vinyl, though, like Morb, you and I were talking about this before. Is there something about the frequency of that type of music? You know what I mean? Right, and there's something nostalgic about having the vinyl, just like having a comic from the 70s or the 80s. Like, and the fact that I started collecting vinyl records and comics in the same year because of certain different things, but just the hip hop covers kind of like tie it all together in a modern way for me, which like music and comics and art. I mean, it's just the best of all the worlds,
Facts. Greg, what you got?
I can't show the Raekwon without showing then the squad.
There you
Come
go.
on now.
Enter the Woo, right?
Come on now.
And what you were talking about too, more like what was so great about these especially like Wu-Tang and Raekwon, like, you know, the stuff that they sampled, right? Like they sampled a lot of like karate movies, kung fu movies, and things like that, you know, and like, you know, Only Built for Cuban Links 2 had that. There's something, one of the first songs on that album is House of Flying Daggers, and it's which such a freaking good gang. If you it's like this is so much. It's like if y'all haven't listened to this, like go listen
to these shits, man. Go listen to these musics, man. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I mean, like that was also like Wu-Tang 2 was right. Like they were the epitome of, you know, that was when your hip hop, it was in the era of your crew. Like you had your crews, you had your, and there wasn't, you weren't a lot of solo hip hop as much as like the popular ones. It was, we're all coming together as a crew, and Wu-Tang set the bar for it, I think, through and through.
Yeah. When Wu-Tang came in, you didn't have such that many people together. You know, the most you would have probably seen was maybe like 4 to 5 people in a group, you know, and then Wu-Tang came in, it kind of felt like, oh, there's too many people, you can't get that off. But they did it flawlessly. You know, the way they delivered, the way each person who came behind who kind of like made that person sound just as great as the guy before him. And they just like, you know, the way they put it together, I think it was just a chemistry that cannot be remade. You cannot do that over again. They broke the mold when they did Wu-Tang, because Wu-Tang really defined that, you know, that whole group squad. Because before that, you know, you had your duels. There was a lot of duels. You had 2-man groups, you know, maybe the 3-man here and there. You know, that was very popular. But you talking 7, 8, 9, 10 guys, like that was like insane, unheard of.
Because you had to bring it too.
Right, you had to come.
You had a small window.
That's it. You only had about 6, 10 bars, and you come hard with them bars, you know.
Because if you don't, you're going to get lost in the mix of everyone else's. So everyone had to bring it when it was coming for a Wu-Tang song, which was fantastic to see, because like you said, you had maybe 8, 10 bars to say, okay, cool, because otherwise it's going to be a 10-minute song, and
exactly. So
you're not Led Zeppelin, so like let's
exactly. So Michelle, what you got for us?
All right, so you have my second slide, because like I was saying earlier, I only have one physical hip hop variant because I'm new to it, but so this is my second set of 6. I had 12 on my wish list. It was very hard to narrow it down to 12, by the way. But all right, so my number one hip hop cover that I need to own is the Kid Cudi Man on the Moon. It's Star-Lord #1. Bill Sienkiewicz did the artwork. I have to have it. Like, I love that album. It's very nostalgic for me from high school. I love the cover of this. And also, Bill Sienkiewicz did the actual album artwork, the actual album cover for Kid Cudi Man on the Moon, too. And it's his first album. I mean, all around, like, I need that, but it's so damn hard to find. This is like one on eBay right now. That would be like, aside from this one, if I could find the Man on the Moon. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go cry now.
It's well, but you're right. You talk about nostalgia, like that album.
You have some other ones. Yeah, you have some other ones on there.
Oh, what was that? The Lupe Fiasco.
So that's how we were talking about earlier. How so I like that album. I love Lupe Fiasco, but I wish it was his first album that they did a homage for. You know, like so.
Right. I get what you're saying.
But still, in that one, like, I wish the art on that cover was a little bit less like kind of digital, but it's still pretty dope to me. So I would love to own that for sure.
Is that the album with Kickflip, or was Kickflip the first one?
I think that was the first one. Let me see.
Yeah, I'm not too much in the know-how with.
But yeah,
I know that album has Sunshine on it.
Okay.
Let's see.
Then we go back to the Kid Cudi.
Yeah, the Kid Cudi is one of my favorite albums,
absolutely.
let alone like hip hop albums. It's one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah. I mean, it was just so different. It was so different. And I loved, I mean, I could listen to the entire album. Came out when I was in high school. And then now just to find out that, and it looks exactly like the album cover, just with the different.
Oh, it's identical.
It's by the same
Yeah.
artist.
Yeah, definitely.
You
Let's see,
can't
what
get
else
better
do
than
they
that.
have on that
You had hold on a
back
second.
there?
Let's get back to it.
So I put all like the black and white covers on the first one. So this was the more colorful one. Okay, so there's the Mob Deep one, the Power Man and Iron Fist. And that's pretty cool. The art on this one is, I mean, I like it. It's a little bit, I don't know, it's different. Who did that? Who did that cover more?
Oh, that was Theosis Jones.
Okay. I'm not familiar with
Theosis
him.
Jones. That's the
like, at first I didn't like the cover too much, but the more that I looked at, like the more that I love it, it also looks like three different albums that Mob Deep had.
This is okay. So this is why, like, I'm not a fan of the artwork, right? But I'm a fan of the fact that they actually tried to do, you know, a full homage of it, of like a.
And the facial expressions are spot on.
But see what I mean? How it's a little bit too exaggerated for me.
Like I felt like
a little bit off.
It would have been okay to change it a little bit, like give it a little more depth. You know what I mean? I felt it was a little too, I don't know.
I still like it. I like that it's not a digital type of art like the Lupe Fiasco one, you know, like it looks hand drawn
but it is
it's an awesome album. And so, like I said, the best of both worlds kind of.
Yeah, and that album, once again, this was fucking sickening, man.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. The beats, like when I heard those beats, it was just like, yo, who the hell is making these beats? And they're like, we are. And it's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, they changed the game with those beats because everybody started to like switch up how they were making, you know, their production. You know, once they saw once they heard that come out, you know, they were just like, holy shit. Now they went into the more grimier sampling, you know, the more heavy bass loops and, you know, that real like melodic sound that they had, you know, and people just started, you know, catching that wave, you know what I mean? And what up, Rage?
Hey, Rage. So I will say that the J. Cole, the Nova #1, that is like the close. I mean, it's basically the freaking cover art, you know, the album art. Like it's the closest match out of all of them that I've seen.
I don't know where I put that one at. I can't find that one either. I'm pissed.
And then the Run. So I think the Run DMC, the Rocket and Groot, was the only one that you guys didn't have, I think, from
that one.
Oh
no, he got it. He got it.
I got it. I brought it out for you.
It was the De La Soul. I mean, the Tropical Quest. The Tropical Quest was the only one.
The newest album, yeah.
Right, that's the one we couldn't find.
You know, it's funny though because that album came out in 2016. That we got it from here, and I think these covers started coming out that same year. So not only. Yeah, so maybe that's why it's hard to find. I don't know. I haven't looked for it yet.
No, I have it. I can't find it. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, never mind.
No. I have every hip hop variant. I just can't find it because those are books. You know me, I'm a wreck. You know, I pull a book out, then it goes into a stack, and then that stack goes mixed into another stack. Yo, like literally the group book, the Mob Deep. I was here digging away, looking through all my stacks. Like I know I have it somewhere around here. Because I have the bad habit of taking them out, taking pictures, and then they don't go back in the box. You know, that's the life we live.
Right.
The Run DMC one, though, that is pretty spot on, too. And that, I mean, you can't not love the Rocket and Groot on that cover. And, I mean, it's from, I think that's probably the earliest album from my 12 picks. Because that's from the 80s. That was before me. But still, you can't not love Run DMC, and you can't not love that cover. So,
Hexman. John, hold on. This is inside joke. John, no lie.
I'm like, what is it?
No lie. I ain't even gonna lie. No lie. This shit literally is right next to me now. Now I'm like, fuck that. This thing is staying next to me. Inside joke, guys. We were on the show on Saturday, and he texted me during the show. He was like, he was gonna pull out his book. And everyone else on the panel pretty much had the book. Jason had pulled out his. Then Alan, Climbing Comics. Then John texted me and was like, hey, go grab yours. Man, of course, I'm the only fool running
Couldn't
around.
find it.
And now, mind you, it was under my Morbius stack that's like right there. And I'm looking everywhere else, but that stack that's right there. And I'm like, this motherfucker, man. I was like, I hate when that happens. But anyway, back to the
I
book.
think so. The last one that was on my list was the all new Hawkeye one, the Pete Rock and CL Smooth.
Yes,
at the bottom.
CL Smooth.
And that was that. So I love the colors in the comic cover. It's not one of my favorite covers. I don't know. I guess I just don't really like kind of like the digital feel, like I said with the Lupe Fiasco one. But I mean, you gotta love that with the black and white. I'm a sucker for black and white covers.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
I mean, it's still really dope.
Hold on,
and the album. So, like I
I
said, with my picks, I tried to pick covers that I liked the album for, and I also liked the cover for. Because it's hard to find two where like you can get down with both, you know?
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, another classic album. My God, this was like 1992. I mean, once again, this is actually in this cover is Sanford Green. This is Sanford Green right here.
Nice.
So shout out to Sanford Green, Bitter Root. So, but yeah, this was an amazing Mecca and the Soul Brother. 1992. Yeah. You have so many songs here, Straighten Out, Reminisce Over You. I mean, you name it. The list goes on and on and on. There's so much hotness in this album. If y'all have not heard this, please go listen to it. Very funky, produced mainly by Pete Rock from CL Smooth. So definitely you don't want to miss that. What else you got for us, Michelle?
So I think that was it for me. You know, thank you for showing my my two
okay.
collages there. Had the 12 covers that I would love to find. I'll probably find like 5 of them without paying $1,000.
Yeah, you'd be surprised, man. I still run into some of these, and I'm like, man, I can't believe they're still, for decent price for a lot of these covers that you would think they money, and they're like, no, they still got them for like $8-10.
I think you're the two on your list that are going to be your toughest that are the Nas.
Yeah,
because it's a Miles, and then the Black album by Jay-Z, the Black Panther. Because when Chadwick passed away, that album or that cover spiked even more so.
Exactly.
And it hasn't come back down, and I don't think it will. So of all your 12, those are going to be the two I think that are going to be the priciest.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'll be on the hunt though, because like I said, this is new to me. Okay, that's a different one, I think. Morb. I forget which one that was.
You're looking for
which album that homaged. It's the Jay-Z, the Black album, and it's the
Black Panther, the Black album. And the Black album is so good too.
Yeah, I mean, that's a classic.
You got that December 4 song, you got 99 Problems, Dust Off Your Shoulders, Encore, and that was the album too that Jay-Z collabed and did the remix with Linkin Park. Which was next level.
Such a good, all around.
So good.
I can see why. And it's an all black cover. I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah,
and you've got the flat bill, but then you also got T'Challa's.
The necklace. Yeah, I love it. I think for me, my next one, like I said, this one had to be my first buy because Tribe means a lot to me. I grew up listening to it because of my cousin Pete. It's what Tribe Called Quest is what made me have an appreciation for 90s hip hop, and then it kind of branched off from there. So this had to be my first buy, but the Kid Cudi has to be my next because of not only my love for that album, but for Bill Sienkiewicz and the fact that he did the album art as well as the comic hip hop variant art. I'm just like, dude, I need to own both. Yeah. I need to own both, and I'm on a mission. So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's all I got. So
all right. So it's on me, right? So we'll go.
No, you got so much more that you need to show.
I know, Morb. We're gonna have to do like a lightning round.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna do a quick little lightning round, real quick, right? We got about almost 10 minutes, so let me run through these real quick. We got the New Avengers, which is actually Ed Pitt's-Score, which I love. Ed Pitt's-Score, great artist. I collect a lot of his stuff. He did the Red Room that just came out recently.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I have those. I haven't read it.
Comic book day.
Yeah. He's a beast, man. He got his own style. I love the way his artwork is. It's so detailed. Like his pencil work is insane. This is nothing. This is light work. You know, if you go to his IG page, he's just a beast. So this covers the message. This is Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, 1982. You know what I'm saying? Now we're taking it back. Now we're taking it back to when I was 7, 8 years old. You know what I mean? I remember the summer when they were pumping this, the message, you know, and don't push me because fuck, I'm fucking it up right now. Like, I'm close to the end. I'm trying not to lose my head. I guess the judges are tired, so maybe wonder how I keep from going under. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the shit in the summertime. Like at 2 o'clock in the morning, you hear it bumping out of a car. You waking up and you looking out the window, and you're like, "Yo, this is funky. Like, what is this?" You know,
that's such a specific way to describe like loving a song.
Hell yeah.
Hearing it bumping out of the car, out of the window at 2 in the morning.
Summertime, 2 in the morning. You're like a little kid, and you're just like, "What is that? It's so dope." So here we got the message, and it was such a pinnacle song because this pretty much like started that whole conscious like mentality of just like, hey, you know, I'm here to tell you something. Basically, the message. He's giving you the knowledge. He's breaking it down, trying to teach you, trying to put you on the path, you know, and get us out of this hood and this environment we was in. So this is a pretty dope album. Had a big statement at the time because shit was fucked up back then, man. It still is, but it was really grimy back then. You know, you always ran into somebody on the cheese line, the welfare cheese line. I was on there with my grandmother at one point. You know what I'm saying? Like we were all on there. Here's another one, of course. The Extraordinary X-Men #1, another Sanford Green cover, you know, and this is De La Soul, 3 Feet High and Rising, 1989, another classic album. This is their first album from De La Soul, 3 Feet High and Rising. I believe this was produced by Prince Paul, who did the Grave Diggers with RZA, and that album, I'm telling you, it's a beast, monster. So you know what I mean? And so this album right here is so dope. If y'all never heard it, go pick it up. They got the song Me, Myself, and I, and it's just potholes in my lawn. And it sounds funny, but when you listen to it, you're like, "Oh, that just sounds cool."
That's such a great song.
So this one definitely stands out to me with the art and the album and the colors on this.
Yeah, it's so dope. I think here we go.
Maybe I'm not familiar. Yeah, see, this is like a spot on.
Right. You know what I mean? And they were like, you know, they were used to be called like the flower child, the hippies of hip hop and shit, because they had like all these peace signs and stuff, but they will knock you the fuck out. You know what I mean? Like these guys will fuck you up. They were not on some like, you know, pussy shit.
Right.
They will put it on you, you know? And I've heard many stories of these guys getting into fights because people thought they were soft and hippie, you know? And so here we go. We got another one real quick. Weapon X #1, of course, like I was talking about it earlier. This is it right here. All for One, Brand Nubian, 1990. Dope. David Nakayama, I believe it is. He did the cover.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Nakayama. I said it right. Let me see. I don't have it here, unfortunately. Damn, I thought I had it. But this is a dope one. If y'all know Brand Nubians, All for One, One for All, y'all gotta go check out this album. Sick album.
I'm adding that to my homework.
Yeah, this is an amazing album. Such a dope album, man. It has so punks jump up to get beat down. That chill. It's all in here.
We should have had you doing this from the beginning.
And then we'll do one more, and then we'll go into some like, you know, some rare ones. Let's go with this is Civil War #2. Look at that, I still got the stick. I didn't even change this one. This has been like this for like a year now. I haven't never fucking changed it. So we got Raphael Albuquerque. Is it? How is it? Albuquerque? Yeah, Raphael Albuquerque. Okay. This is Onyx, Back the Fuck Up. This is 1993.
Okay.
Another classic. You know, you got Stick 'em Up. You got, you know, Slam. You got all these hits on here, you know. And so many dope songs, man. So many dope songs. And of course, if y'all know Sticky Fingers and, you know, the whole Onyx crew. So that's a dope one. Of course, you got Lauryn Hill.
See, I should have saved my like runners up because I tried to limit it to 12 to 2 slides. I had like 5 more, and that was one of them.
That was one of them? Oh, okay. And of course,
that was actually one of the first ones I picked up.
Oh, was it really? Okay.
And I cannot forget. I got before I go to the last one I got that I'll go with. I can't forget Big Daddy Kane. That's the man of the hour. You know what I mean? The soul power. Where he at? I know I got Big Daddy Kane in here. I know I uploaded Big Daddy Kane. No, I did not upload Big Daddy Kane. I should shoot myself. Okay, so here you go. Big Daddy Kane. This is the infamous Iron Man #1, art by Anthony Piper, I believe. And this is Long Live the Kane, Big Daddy Kane, 1998 album. It's supposed to be Big Daddy Kane, and he got a whole bunch of women around him. You know,
why they gotta do it with their like Iron Man around?
That's what I thought. And then I thought, why didn't they like feminize them, like make them like Iron women, like
right?
You know what I mean? Like why?
There's another one like that.
Like
there's
you know
another
what I mean?
one like that where they have Spider-Man on the hip hop cover, but on the album cover it's like a woman like in a bathing suit. There's another one that's like, look it up, y'all, because it's weird.
Yeah, I felt the same way with this cover. That's why I'm surprised I didn't upload it, because I wanted to show
the original,
you know, and which was him surrounded by a bunch of women, and it's like him looking like Caesar back in the Roman times. He's dressed like in a toga with the whole thing on his head, and then you have the women looking like all that time, you know. But like he the man, you know what I mean? He sees it. He was running it back then, you know. And like I said, 1988, this was classic. I was in 8th grade, you know, and it was just he was the dude back then. Like he was the man. Like you could not touch Big Daddy Kane back then, you know. And of course, during that time, you know, you had those little flukes that would come up, and you'd be like, "Oh my God, what is happening to hip hop?" Here we go, the man of the hour. We got Vanilla Ice. We got Deadpool #2. You got
see, I didn't know about this one. I didn't see this one before.
Yep. This is Vanilla Ice to the extreme. This is 1990 again. I was a freshman in high school, you know, and this was like when it came out, I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Like, why is this guy on TV rapping? You know, and my brother actually liked it. He was just like, yo, that's pretty dope. You know, ice, ice, baby. Dun, 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 dun. He was like, yo, I don't know.
The beat is forever.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the beat is like.
And the song in general, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, Morbius, you know what I'm always wondering too? You have to, because you can tell us. That's one of the first ones I've seen that's an issue 2 of a comic. Every other.
There's not many. There's not many.
Every other hip hop cover has been an issue. It's been a 1.
They're all 1s except for 7.
This is the 2.
Is there any? You have to let me know afterwards. Is there any other 2? Because I feel like that's even like a rare.
No, there is another. There is. I believe there's a 3. There's all 1s. Then you have a 2, and then you have a 3.
And there's a 7 somewhere. I know. I remember the 7. I was like, what is this number 7?
I believe this is the only 2. If I'm not mistaken, this might be the only 2. You know what I mean? But yeah, I had to pull out Vanilla Ice before we ended the show. You know,
and it's like, black, white, and red. Like I said, I'm a sucker for black and white covers.
I had to go with some Vanilla Ice. You know, Greg, you got anything you want to pull out real quick?
Man, listen, we can't.
Like 50 books.
For another
I have
hour.
so many, but we can't end the stream. I at least got to throw 3 up at the one time. We can't mention NWA. We can't mention Dr. Dre.
There you go.
There you go. Dr. Strange was already in my.
Hell yeah, you got it right there, brother.
Like,
yo, dude, you
was
reading my mind. You was reading my mind.
Did the stream and not
reading my mind.
Because I mean, you can't. I mean, Tupac, and this is where it's like
classics.
I grew up on 2001 Dr. Dre album, not the Chronic as much, but you can't do 2001 as a hip hop cover because it literally is just a black cover with a marijuana leaf on it and be the boringest cover ever. But
so they killed it with that one, right?
Oh yeah, with the Mystic. Oh, look it right there.
See, this album, like, to me, this was very pinnacle. 1992. You know, this was right here. This, like I said, I was in high school when I first heard this shit, and you know, when he dropped that, I was just like, yo, what is going on here? Like, what is this? Like, you know, I don't get it. Like, this is just, it turned my whole life around, you know, this song. And I mean, you pretty much killed it there. And I had to do, right there, man.
Yeah.
We can't not talk about those 3 real quick.
Those
like that was
bangers. And Straight Outta Compton, another classic. I loved them so much. My mom hated it. You know, because she would be like, why fucky? Everything is fucky. You know, and I'm just like,
see this. You'll appreciate this more. But as a kid growing up in country Ohio. Like we
Wait,
literally had like.
wait. We got a troll. We got a troll in the chat. You got to boot out.
Listen, that's what happens when you bring out Tupac.
What's going on? What's going on? Oh,
Yeah. We got
when you bring out Tupac, that's what happens.
See, this is
oh,
why
hey girls, we'll do what shit.
Yeah,
What?
No,
yeah.
you know what happened was
what?
Morbius was
You're gonna
complaining
get
about
hacked.
he
You're
was
gonna get
complaining
hacked.
about the
You're gonna
last
get that
album,
shit
Big
out of
Daddy
here.
Kane, not
And
having the girls on it.
this is why you need a moderator in your chat. So we need to have a Crash or Paul.
Exactly.
So
Don't worry, they're gone. They're gone.
Get rid of this shit. All right.
They're
Dude,
gone.
we were a country school that had drive your tractor to school. That's how redneck we were. And I remember my mom finding my Dr. Dre album in my car. She's like, I don't like that doctor very much. That seems a little inappropriate. I'm like, I think a doctor should be a little more professional. I'm like, oh, Mom, bless your heart.
Exactly, right? I mean, come on. We got Snoop Dogg.
Oh, yeah.
Snoop Dogg.
Okay, that's a cool one.
You got Capone Noriega.
Okay.
Classic Capone
Clips.
Noriega.
There's another Red Wolf. There's another Red Wolf cover, I think.
I mean, there's just so many.
There's
another Red
many.
Wolf right here. Right here, I got you.
That was a really that cover I love. What's the album? I think I didn't put that on because I wasn't too familiar with that album.
Yeah, that's not something I'm like big on like that.
Lil Wayne.
Yeah. See, there's a lot. See, that's another example of how I wish they would have done an earlier album.
Right.
Because I'm like, okay, that's cool. It's cute.
Another example.
Homage, but it's not the best album.
Another example, like you said, Michelle, this Kendrick Lamar To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah.
This is my least favorite album of his.
See, me? This is another
Tyler,
Mike Del Mundo, and I just got it. It was
Ooh.
like, I was so, man, I can't even tell you. I don't even care. I just love the cover.
See, so Bill Sienkiewicz had like 2 or 3 other covers.
If anybody knows here,
this is the Bill Sienkiewicz.
Yeah, there's a Scarlet one. There's Eminem. But like, why the fuck didn't they do a different Eminem?
Which is we were talking. This is the worst Eminem album.
Right.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, that's just
like,
horrible.
There's so many like that where I'm like, dude, the cover art is fire.
Covers again, I don't care about
forget about that Drake one.
Right, don't care about the artist, but the cover.
No, you should have done Take Care.
You know, don't care about the artist, but dope covers.
Oh, I didn't realize Adam Hughes did that NWA.
Oh,
that's an Adam Hughes cover.
I don't even know what A-Force is, but that's a cool cover.
Same.
There's a lot of these where I'm like, who are like, there's a lot of, it's modern shit. I don't know.
We haven't talked about
people,
Will Smith.
All right, Hyperion, yep. Even freaking Ill Bill, bro. Even Ill Bill got his.
That's a dope cover.
That's the
it looks like a Daredevil electric.
It's like a Deadpool.
But it's Deadpool.
Here we go. Look, guys. Here we go. Deadpool number 7.
Oh, that's a 7. I knew there was
7.
a 7. There might be a couple. So, do you guys have? There's a Guardians of the Galaxy Far Side one, I think, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's like instead of on a roller coaster, they're like in space.
Morb, do you have the Notorious B.I.G. the Ant-Man one?
Oh, that's a cool one.
That's a beautiful cover.
That's a really cool one.
And again, we'd be remiss if we didn't throw up Biggie.
Yeah. I should have had 3 slides, y'all. I didn't know. I had like my list and I was like, all right. I was gonna try to make it 5, and then I was like, fuck that, I can't make it 5. Let me make it 10.
That might be my next go-to. Yeah,
that's it right there, man.
That's a cool one.
Slick Rick.
I have to mention
somebody asked for Slick Rick. Hold up, I had Slick Rick. I had him ready too. I had Slick Rick ready, Lord. I
will have to say though that Department of Truth, some of their like store exclusive, their variants have homaged album covers. Like there's an Eminem one, and there's also a Nirvana one, and there's a Notorious B.I.G. one as well for these Department of Truth covers.
I think the Nirvana one, I want to say that's
they're also like store exclusive.
Yeah, it's
store exclusive. Well, for the most part, some of them I'll get behind. But
who is it? What's his face? Illis Illuminati.
He does some really dope.
I think he did the.
That one? Oh,
I'm pretty sure he did the Nirvana one.
Yeah,
it was cool, man. I mean, there's so I would like to see more album music homage covers just in general. I don't know. I mean, or maybe they come out with like a round 3 of the hip hop covers. I mean, because there's so many others they could do. There's so many amazing album covers out
Don't
there.
forget the
Amazing music.
Missy
Oh
Elliott.
yeah, yep. And then there's one. I think there's there's another female album cover.
You know which one?
It's Riri Williams, I think. She's like,
oh yeah, Riri Williams. Yeah, yeah.
I forget what it was. There's so many.
I mean, again, like you said, there's so many covers. You got the Wolverine, the DMX one.
You guys
in the blood,
that one's crazy. That's insane.
Just so many, man. Oh, of course. Another classic Wu right here. You got the Jizza.
Okay.
The Jizza album. But there was one I did want to show before we get out of here, because we're already past the hour. Thank you for everybody who's still hanging out with us.
Cheers, y'all.
We've been here chilling with our crazy asses. You know,
we apparently can talk about comics nonstop, and then you
Right.
throw music and hip hop into it.
This isn't
Michelle
like
and I are like,
scratching the surface. This is like the pin dot on the top of the surface, on the top of the.
Exactly.
This is like
Liquid Swords, baby. There you go. Liquid Swords.
Okay, I know
show.
that. Yeah.
This is the one I wanted to show.
Oh,
before.
whoa! I haven't seen this.
This I have the album. This is Rapper's Delight, the Sugar Hill Gang, 1980. Y'all already know. I said the hip hop, the hip, the hop, you know what I'm saying? All of that.
I love that cover. The black and white with the rainbow.
It is a beautiful fucking cover, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And the album cover is similar to this. It's very similar. It has that same like type of design to it. Exactly.
I love that.
And then the center goes right to where the center of the album cutout is. It just opens up like that. It just goes right to that center cutout, just the way it is on here, you know. And then you see the name on top. Yo, I'm telling you, I had to.
And what album is that again?
This is the Rapper's Delight. This is Sugar Hill Gang. This is actually the first hip hop signed, like first album to be signed as, you know, in hip hop or hip hop.
When did that from the 70s or 80s?
This is 1980, right? They
1980.
Right, 1980. So the song was actually recorded in 79, you know, and of course there's a lot of controversy to it, you know, because you had a guy on there.
I'm gonna go down the Google rabbit.
There's a lot of controversy, you know, like the second rapper, the big heavyset guy, Casanova, he called himself Casanova, which actually was a Casanova. He took his rhyme and he used it when he said the rhyme, you know what I mean, in the song, and that was actually somebody else's rhyme. You know, he just jacked his fucking verse. You know, never got props for it, of course. You know, there's a lot of history to that song. You know, but that's what kind of set it off. Wonder Mike, there you go. Wonder Mike.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That was his name, Wonder Mike, and he spit Casanova's rap. You know, because he spelled Casanova in the song. You know what I mean? Like in the beginning,
the 80s.
Envy, you know, he just broke down the whole syllable, you know, the whole name, you know, and that was like Casanova's like, yo, that's my shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff, man. Definitely, brother. Definitely. Always a pleasure, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. We got 20 people in here hanging out with us. Appreciate you guys. You know, we're just talking smack, loving these hip hop variants, loving the culture, appreciative about the culture, thankful that we're able to, you know, immerse ourselves in this culture, you know, the way we have, and as our youth growing up into it. And like I said, this is an experience that you cannot take away from nobody, because these are things that are instilled in us. You play a song and we just go right back to that time when we first heard the song, or a picture of the album or whatever, the video. You remember, oh, I was sitting here when I saw that video or whatever. Whether it's a good time, a bad time, it's a memory that you will never forget.
And it's a beautiful thing that we're able to have another way to relive that. Besides the music, besides the actual albums or the CDs or the cassette, we have now in 2015 and forward, hip hop variants that are crossing over our love of comics with the same shit that we love about the music and the memories. And that's why I think this is such an amazing, you know, and people love it. We get talk about it all night.
Yeah, when Crash put me onto it, it literally like blew my mind, because when the first one that I, you know, when I saw it, I was like, oh snap, they're doing hip hop, like, yo, that's dope. Like I was like, yo, that's salute, like appreciate you guys for doing that. You know what I mean? Like showing love to the culture. And then they kept doing it. And then you had season 1, then season 2. You're like, holy shit, they're gonna keep going with this. You know,
They
so
need to
I
keep
found
going
out
with it.
about all this like a few
yeah,
months
man.
ago, and
I'm
I'm
really
just like,
hoping.
what? What?
Right?
Why was I not around a few years ago to find these?
You know, trust me, man. Like I'm pretty sure that I've been like wondering if they're gonna start a new season, like
They
if they're
should.
gonna come up
They
with
have
something.
to, right?
You know, I'm really hoping they do, and because there was so many albums they missed, even old school stuff was not touched on. Outside of new school stuff, you know, was not touched on. So,
Yeah.
and like we said, there were albums that we wanted to see. They might have not done their first album or the second album that we'd rather see, but they did the third album, and you're like, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get it anyway because
Yeah, but I gotta get it.
I gotta get it.
Complete this goddamn run, you know. So it's like, but yeah, guys, I think this is right. I think this is a great show. Thank you guys for being here, Michelle, Greg. Thank you so much for doing. This was Greg. He came up with the topic. He hit me up with it. Was like, yo, let's do these hip hop variants. I was like, yo, bro, you talking my language, brother. Let's do it.
Well, your show, I was so infatuated with your show a couple weeks ago with Wiz, and everyone, you know, and I was like, man, there's such a connection with hip hop and comics that like with the hip hop variants, and so many creators that are, you know, hip hop artists that are doing comics and have comics, and you know,
it's crazy. It's
crazy. It was just perfect because your show has been crossing over comics and hip hop a lot lately. So it was like
right. And it was intentional.
Out of all people on to talk, you know what I mean?
But,
you know
see, that's the cool stuff. That's what's so dope because there's no real like label or picture for hip hop. You know that it goes across the board. You know, and this is a perfect representation of hip hop. You know. And that's why I was like, great when Michelle was like, I don't know about him. I don't know if I should do this. I was just like, man, girl, perfect.
I mean, for me, but hip hop still means so much to me.
Exactly.
But I'm like, but you guys, I have one hip hop cover, and I'm not like a hip hop head. I don't know as much as you guys do for different reasons. But at the same time, it still means so much to me that I was so excited to be here to discuss these with you and just to kind of like go through the collections and go through my wish list. I mean, so it means so much to everyone, you know, music and comics touch everyone. I mean, you know, it's just like, there's no words to explain what it means.
So. You know, and I'm just going to continue delivering you guys that hip hop flavor. Next week, for those who are in here, we got 11 people in here. Don't leave yet. Cause next week, I ain't say it yet, but remember last time I was supposed to have Pharaoh Monch. We had some technical difficulties. So next week, Pharaoh Monch will be on. It'll be and I'm doing a giveaway. I don't know where the hell I put the comic book. I was going to pull it out. I don't know where I put it. I think I put it somewhere under there, but I'm not going to chase it. But it's a signed comic book, Kill, 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 off his album. You know, he signed it, and I'm going to send it out to whoever wins it. But I'm gonna break it down over the week. You know what I mean? I'm going to, you know, amp it up throughout the week. I'm going to make a post about it to give you guys a chance to win it, you know. But I'm excited to have Pharaoh back on, officially have him back, you know, on the show. And of course, I also got a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline. I got Q Unique from the Arsonist as well coming on the show. I got Sanford Green for Bitter Root. He will be on the show next year. So I'm working on it, guys. I'm trying to get a lot more hip hop heads that I'm affiliated with, or somebody that I know is affiliated with. I'm trying to get Pete Rock in here. I'm working on getting Pete Rock.
Wow.
I'm also working on getting Kwame. I don't know Kwame. He's the one who started the polka dots back in the days with the whole era, you know, the rhythm. So I'm trying to get Kwame in here as well. But yeah, guys, hopefully you guys keep riding with me. We're going to keep going till the wheels fall off. And we're just going to bring it together. Hip hop meets comic books right here on Comic Relief, man. And once again, thank you, Michelle. Thanks, Greg, for hanging out with us. Salute to everybody in the chat. Thank you for everybody catching the replay. If you're not following these people, y'all already know their link is in the description. So don't be a fool. Make sure y'all hit them up. And of course, I mean, this is it, guys. Y'all, episode 37 of Comic Relief. I'm so excited. I don't even want to end the show right now, but I have to.
Yeah. You know? Thank you, everyone. This was dope.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So with that being said, we are out of here. Peace.